Hey guys, Chris Tubbs with KnowYourBest.com. I've got a deep question for you today. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made? I'll volunteer first. So I skipped the toilet paper restock in January, and then there was a time where I forgot to ask for extra hot sauce from Taco Bell. Never, ever again. No, but seriously, I've had my share of screw-ups. Some were pretty devastating. I got kicked out of a high school. I got fired from a job. I was arrested at one point. I'm sure I've done worse, but since this is public, we'll start with those. Look, I found that there are some mistakes that we should all strive to avoid in life. In this video, we'll cover 9 of the most common that you should really look out for. The first is relying on willpower. Think about the last new diet or exercise routine that you tried. It might have started with a spark. You got inspired by a model in a fitness magazine, or you took a look in the mirror and you didn't like what you saw. Those first few days, you were super motivated. Going to the gym felt exciting. Even kale salads and dry chicken had a slight appeal. After a couple weeks, your motivation tapered off. Maybe you lost it all. And the mistake we make is relying on willpower to fuel us. I've found that habits and routines are far more consistent ways of achieving your goals. So I'll link an article that I wrote on habits below. The other mistake is staying in our comfort zone. The comfort zone is where our dreams go to die. Remember that if you do what you've always done, you'll get the same results you've always gotten. When I was training for a triathlon, I loved every part of it except for the swim. I had trouble breathing in the water. I hated the cold. So can you guess which part of the training I neglected? The swim ended up becoming a glaring weakness that jeopardized my entire race. What do you fear? Is it public speaking, asking for promotion? Whatever that is, that should be the exact thing that you do. The other mistake is overthinking shit. So many people are waiting for that one breakthrough that will drive them to action. They seek out one more book, podcast, or blog post that will transform their life. But in most domains, results are 10% strategy, 90% action. You could have the best exercise routine, but it's worthless if you don't work out. You could have the best marketing plan, but it's useless if you don't implement it. So try to stop overthinking shit. The other one is, thinking that money is everything. Obviously, everyone needs some level of money for things like food or shelter to be satisfied. But more money won't make you happier past a certain point. Western society puts money on this lofty pedestal, which is probably why so many Westerners remain unhappy. We all need to make a living, but sometimes we forget to make a life in the process. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you need more to be happy. You don't. The other mistake is thinking that you need to make big changes. So in a book called The Kaizen Way, author Dr. Robert Maurer reasons that massive goals trigger an amygdala hijack. This is the fight or flight response to a perceived threat. It's why when someone vows to lose 50 pounds or earn a 7-figure income, their inner skeptic starts to go crazy. So instead, start with smaller goals like committing to just a few minutes of exercise or earning a few extra dollars through a new income stream. My bet is that you'll be much more successful with your goals and accomplish more if you do it that way. Other mistake is seeing things for worse than they are. Studies have shown that 4 out of 5 of our thoughts are negative and 19 out of 20 are repetitive. So for most of us, our internal dialogue is just pessimistic radio. Often our friends and our family only encourage this, right? So I say embrace reality, don't deny it, but deal with it. And there's no benefit in seeing things for worse than they are. The other mistake is making dreams instead of goals. So goals are more effective than dreams. Tim Ferriss put it that life punishes the vague wish and rewards the specific ask. In the book Principles, Ray Dalio states that we should always have clear goals. And critically, we can have almost anything we want, but not everything. So we have to rank our goals by importance. Another mistake is being overly patient for long-term progress. People tend to set massive goals for themselves that demand this major sense of urgency. They'll say they want to retire at 30 or get 6-pack abs in a month. But if you audit their daily routine, you'll find that there's a total lack of urgency, right? They'll skip workouts to go to happy hour, or they'll binge Netflix instead of working on a side business. Then they complain about not making progress and blame a system or a technique. Remember, the best system doesn't work unless we do. So that means we need to take urgent action. A huge mistake is basically the definition of insanity. It's doing that same thing and expecting a different result. It's something we all do. And it's easy to spot if you're not taking enough action. It's harder to know if you're making the right moves. Smart, ambitious people, they fall into this trap all the time. They get stuck in the trap of repeating something that isn't working. So pause, step back, look at the problem in a new way. Maybe get a second opinion. Find mentors that can help you think about something differently. So that's the list. What questions do you have? What are some of the issues that you've ran into when it comes to self-improvement? Let me know here. I'd love to hear the mistakes as well as the successes. Go to knowyourbest.com. Thank you so much.